The first entry, Android peeing on Apple, refers to a notorious community Easter egg discovered in 2015. An independent user manipulated Google's Map Maker tool to insert a hidden graphic in the rural landscapes of Pakistan, which depicted the green Android mascot urinating directly onto an Apple logo. Google quickly removed the offensive imagery and eventually shut down the community-sourced Map Maker tool to prevent similar unmoderated edits. The second entry, Cern Giant, is an ancient 79-meter-tall hill figure sculpted into the turf of Dorset, England. This massive chalk geoglyph depicts a naked man wielding a club, displaying an explicit phallic feature that makes it highly recognizable from high-altitude aerial and satellite imagery. Because it is a permanent historical landmark, it can be viewed clearly by anyone browsing the standard satellite view of the English countryside. The third entry, Waldo, highlights an official interactive minigame released by Google for April Fool's Day in 2018. The platform integrated the classic "Where's Waldo?" character directly into the interface, allowing users to scroll around real-world maps of various international cities to locate Waldo and his friends hidden among crowds. This promotional event provided an interactive experience that leveraged standard navigation panning controls for entertainment. The fourth entry, Glitchiness on the Ground, represents the commonplace visual distortions encountered while navigating the Street View layer of the application. These digital anomalies occur when the automated stitching software attempts to merge multiple overlapping photographs taken by panoramic camera rigs, resulting in fragmented cars, distorted human limbs, floating objects, and disjointed geometric structures. Because these visual bugs appear frequently across millions of mapped roads, they are well known to everyday users. The first entry, Guitar Forest, describes a massive, guitar-shaped forest located in the agricultural plains of Cordoba, Argentina. This impressive piece of land art was hand-planted by a grieving farmer named Pedro Martin Uritz to honor his late wife, who loved the instrument. Composed of over 7,000 cypress and eucalyptus trees stretching over 1 kilometer long, the distinct musical outline is perfectly visible from high-altitude satellite views. The second entry, Husband Catches Wife Cheating, references a viral internet story originating from a street view capture in Lima, Peru. While a user was scouting routes on the digital platform, they noticed a man resting his head on the lap of a woman sitting on a bench, whose facial features matched the user's wife despite being blurred by privacy algorithms. The uncanny discovery led to a domestic confrontation and an eventual divorce, making it a prominent example of unintended privacy exposure on the platform. The third entry, Flashing, points to instances where pedestrians deliberately expose themselves to the Google Street View cars as they drive past. Because the vehicles are highly visible and travel public roads on a regular schedule, pranks and exhibitionist acts are occasionally captured before automated systems or user reports flag the imagery for removal. These fleeting moments often become urban legends within the mapping community before they are scrubbed and updated with newer imagery. The fourth entry, Identical Twins, highlights the visual phenomenon of encountering seemingly identical duplicates of the same person within a short distance on Street View. Rather than a supernatural occurrence, this is a product of camera stitching and timing, where an individual walks alongside or past the moving Google car. The panoramic camera captures the person in multiple sequential frames, and the automated software merges the images to create an optical illusion of twins walking together. The fifth entry, Colonel Sanders, refers to a massive piece of geoglyphic advertising created by Kentucky Fried Chicken in 2006. To promote a brand redesign, the company assembled a 65,000 square foot digital image of the Colonel's face in the Nevada desert, composed of thousands of individual colored tiles. Strategically placed near Area 51 to capture the attention of digital explorers, the giant logo became a famous landmark on Google Earth before eventually being disassembled. The sixth entry, Middle Fingers, involves everyday citizens reacting hostilely to the presence of the passing Google mapping vehicles. Because the multi-lens camera rigs mounted on car roofs are incredibly conspicuous, people around the globe frequently look up and gesture aggressively toward the lens. These countless instances of defiance or humor are captured in the raw footage and remain visible on the platform until user privacy blurs cover the offending hands. The first entry, Firefox logo, highlights an enormous piece of crop art created in 2006 by a group of Oregon State University students. To celebrate the web browser reaching 50 million downloads, the team sculpted a precise 45,000 square foot recreation of the fox hugging the globe into an oat field near Amity, Oregon. The massive logo was easily spotted from space and became one of the earliest examples of corporate imagery, specifically designed for discovery via digital satellite platforms. The second entry, Angry Scuba Divers, refers to a humorous and staged encounter captured by a street view vehicle in Bergen, Norway. Two friends wearing full scuba gear and holding tridents set up lawn chairs on the side of a coastal highway, waiting specifically for the recognizable mapping car to pass by. As the vehicle approached, they jumped up and chased it down the road in their flippers, creating a bizarre sequential animation for anyone navigating that specific stretch of highway. The third entry, Craigmillar Gulliver, describes a giant, flat concrete sculpture of a human figure that used to rest in a park in Edinburgh, Scotland. Spanning roughly 30 meters in length, the monument was constructed in 1976 by a convict-turned artist named Jimmy Boyle to represent Gulliver tied down by the Lilliputians. Over the decades, the statue fell into severe disrepair, gathering overgrown grass and graffiti until it was completely demolished in 2011, leaving behind only historical satellite imagery of its final form. The fourth entry, Headington Shark, is a famous rooftop sculpture located in Oxford, England, that is easily identifiable from above. The property features an 8-meter-long fiberglass shark that appears to be crashing headfirst through the roof of a suburban house. Erected secretly on the anniversary of the Nagasaki atomic bombing in 1986, the structure serves as a statement on anti-war and anti-nuclear sentiments, giving digital mapping users a sudden surprise when scanning ordinary residential streets. The fifth entry, Mooning, covers the widespread phenomenon of pedestrians dropping their trousers to expose their backside to the passing Google camera cars. Similar to other exhibitionist gestures, this act of juvenile rebellion is common across global suburbs and rural roads where the arrival of the mapping vehicle is noticed in advance. These frames are usually blurred or wiped completely from history once the automated processing algorithms or community moderators flag the coordinate location. The sixth entry, Lost NASA Equipment, points to an internet conspiracy theory generated by bizarre geometric patterns found in remote desert areas, particularly in places like New Mexico or Kazakhstan. Digital explorers frequently spot discarded heavy machinery, strange landing strips, or circular test grids that look like abandoned aerospace operations. While some are legitimate military testing sites, Online communities often speculate wildly that these locations harbor secret or forgotten space program hardware. The seventh entry, supposed taped-up bodies, marks a deeply unsettling visual discovery that circulated widely through online horror communities. In a standard street view sequence from a city street, a casual observer noticed what appeared to be human silhouettes tightly wrapped in industrial plastic wrap and plastic bags, leaning against a building or sitting inside an alleyway. While online rumors suggested a microwave crime scene had been captured live, the reality was far less sinister, as the items turned out to be wrapped mannequins, Halloween props, or discarded retail displays. The first entry, Naked Man in Car Boot, refers to a bizarre image found on Street View in a small German village. The camera captured a driveway where a completely nude man was lying inside the trunk of a silver sedan, with a dog resting on the lawn nearby. The confusing scene went viral globally, sparking endless debates about what the man was doing, though local context suggested he may have been working on his vehicle or cleaning it during hot weather. The second entry, Aberdeen Horsehead, involves a mysterious figure captured on a roadside pavement in Aberdeen, Scotland. A user navigating Street View noticed a man wearing a formal purple shirt and a highly realistic, creepy rubber horse mask, standing casually with his arms crossed. The odd character appeared in multiple frames along the street, turning into an overnight internet sensation and prompting a hunt to discover the identity of the mysterious horsebow. The third entry, Blue Tree, highlights a striking environmental art piece located in Mount Gambier, Australia. A large, dead tree on the side of a highway was painted entirely in bright blue paint by a local artist as part of a mental health awareness campaign. The vivid, unnatural color stands out dramatically against the surrounding green vegetation and dusty roads, offering a surreal visual marker for digital travelers exploring the Australian countryside. Chicago Police highlights a humorous and highly specific community dispute captured on a residential sidewalk in Chicago, Illinois. A property owner became so frustrated with neighbors not cleaning up after their dogs that they posted an aggressive, official-looking sign warning of a fake law enforcement group tracking offenders. The intense signage and subsequent neighborhood drama were preserved on the platform, illustrating how minor domestic feuds can be immortalized online. Emerged Sea Monster points to a viral satellite capture off the coast of New Zealand that appeared to show a massive, elongated wake in the water. Online conspiracy theorists claimed the satellite had photographed a giant marine creature, such as an oversized serpent or a prehistoric monster, moving rapidly through the ocean. Marine experts quickly debunked the myth, explaining that the wake was simply caused by the movement of a standard seafaring vessel that was edited out by image stitching software. Perfect spirals refers to the mesmerizing, concentric spiral patterns found in remote desert landscapes, most notably the Desert Breath installation in Egypt. This massive piece of land art consists of precise displacement cones and depressions spiraling outward from a central water pool, covering 100,000 square meters. The geometric perfection looks incredibly striking from an aerial perspective, leading casual internet browsers to mistake it for alien activity or ancient ruins. The first entry, Man Stuck in Bin, highlights a tragicomic street view scene documented in Aberdeen, Scotland. The camera car drove past a public park and captured a middle-aged man who had managed to wedge his entire upper body deep inside a public trash container. The bizarre image quickly spread across internet forums as a classic example of unintended everyday absurdities immortalized by mapping vehicles. circles, points to the countless complex geometric patterns found etched into agricultural fields worldwide, particularly across the United Kingdom and the American Midwest. While satellite browsers frequently speculate about extraterrestrial origins, these massive aerial patterns are the handiwork of human artists using planks and ropes. The high-resolution aerial mapping of the platform acts as an archive, cataloging these intricate, temporary land art displays before they are harvested. Men lying in graves marks a highly unsettling visual sequence discovered in a rural field on the platform. The aerial imagery revealed what appeared to be two grown men lying perfectly still inside two freshly dug, body-sized rectangular trenches side by side. While internet communities initially worried it was a snapshot of a crime scene, further investigation revealed it was an edgy performance art piece titled Symmetry by a creative duo. Manchester Phantom Building involves a massive digital rendering anomaly that once haunted the city skyline of Manchester, England. Due to a severe calculation error in the automated three-dimensional building's layer, the terrifying, futuristic monolith became a popular destination for digital tourists until a data update patched the coordinates. Cruise missile refers to a sensationalized internet rumor sparked by a fast-moving object captured over the mountains of Utah. A high-altitude satellite photograph caught a blurry, elongated white shape with what looked like trailing exhaust, leading online groups to claim a military weapon test had been exposed. Image analysts later confirmed the object was simply a commercial jet airliner, with its color and shape heavily distorted by the satellite's fast-moving sensor filters. The first entry, Pond Whale, centers on a highly unusual satellite image discovered in a tiny, inland body of water. Internet users zooming into a localized rural pond noticed a distinct, dark shape perfectly mimicking the silhouette of a massive whale navigating the confined waters. While cryptozoology enthusiasts and internet forums speculated about a stranded or mythical land-dwelling sea beast, image experts clarified that the anomaly was a combination of shifting underwater vegetation and a timely shadow cast by an overhanging tree line. Blood stain on rooftop references a deeply unnerving visual discovery that triggered a wave of true crime speculation across social media platforms. A user analyzing residential structures from an aerial perspective noticed a prominent, dark crimson smear spreading across the shingles of a suburban house roof, bearing an uncanny resemblance to a massive pool of blood. The morbid online rumors were laid to rest when local property records and historical context revealed the discoloration was simply a severe patch of red moss growth, combined with oxidized rust bleeding from an old, faulty chimney vent. Purple Street details a surreal environmental glitch encountered while shifting into the ground-level navigation mode. Users attempting to view a standard neighborhood road found the entire asphalt surface transformed into a vibrant, neon purple hue that blanketed the street from curb to curb. This psychedelic visual error occurred due to a technical malfunction within the digital camera sensors mounted on the mapping vehicle, which misread the light exposure and corrupted the color profile during the automated file compression process. Satan's Face covers a classic piece of pareidolia where digital map explorers detected a terrifying, demonic visage hidden within the natural topography of a mountain range or a cliffside formation. When viewed from a specific high-altitude angle, the jagged rock edges, dark shadows, and patches of deep green foliage align to form two hollow eyes, a sharp nose, and a gaping mouth. The sinister silhouette quickly became a staple of internet creepypastas, before casual browsers recognized it as a simple trick of perspective and natural erosion. The first entry, the Princeport Road house, references a structural mystery involving a specific pair of residential properties located on Princeport Road in the United Kingdom. To the confusion of digital explorers, this exact housing structure has been completely obscured from view by the platform's mapping team, with the digital blur remaining fixed over the coordinates for years. Unlike commercial properties or military facilities that request data censorship for clear corporate or state security reasons, no public explanation or official justification has ever been uncovered to explain why this ordinary suburban home was permanently scrubbed from the platform's database. Pripyat Ghost taps into dark tourism folklore tied directly to the radioactive exclusion zone surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear disaster site. While users browse the desolate, abandoned streets of the evacuated city of Pripyat, they occasionally encounter a dark, translucent human silhouette standing near the decaying architectural ruins. Although internet forums frequently declare these frames to be proof of a paranormal entity wandering the ruins, the phantom figure is simply a human explorer whose fast movement caused a transparency glitch due to the platform's long-exposure panoramic image stitching technology. Smoke Monster centers on a creepy pop culture reference named after the infamous entity from the television series Lost. Users scanning remote geographic regions, such as deep island jungles or dense forest trails, occasionally stumble across a billowing, pitch-black mass of distorted pixels that seems to snake violently across the pathways. This alarming phenomenon is actually an operational artifact generated when thick soot, heavy camera exhaust, or a stray flying insect passes directly in front of the lens assembly, casting an unreadable shadow that corrupts the local pixel data. Atlantis highlights one of the most famous early cartography misunderstandings in the history of global mapping applications. In the foundational stages of the software, deep-sea exploration enthusiasts discovered an enormous, highly structured grid-like pattern etched onto the ocean floor off the coast of northwest Africa, immediately declaring it to be the sunken streets of the mythical lost city of Atlantis. The engineering team eventually had to issue a public statement explaining that the geometric lines were not underwater ruins, but rather data artifacts left behind by the sonar paths of marine boats measuring the seafloor topography. That is the end of this iceberg. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.